Rain hammered against the metal hull of the mining station, each strike echoing like a drum in the narrow corridors. Sparks flickered from damaged conduits, casting brief flashes of light across the debris-strewn floor. Aaron Vay's boots slid on the wet metal as he ran, his breath short and ragged. The station had taken a hit from a micrometeor, and the alarms screamed over the storm. Somewhere ahead, a sound cut through the chaos, a tiny, desperate cry. Aaron froze, straining to listen. The cry was weak, almost drowned by the wind howling through broken vents. He followed it, eyes darting over twisted pipes and fallen panels. Then he saw it, a small alien creature huddled under a fallen support beam. Its skin shimmered faintly, pale and wet, and its eyes, large and bright, blinked with panic. Blood matted the edges of its tiny body. The hatchling shivered, trying to lift a wing that bent at an unnatural angle. Without hesitation, Aaron threw himself forward. "Hey, it's okay. I've got you." He pulled the beam off with a grunt, ignoring the sparks dancing dangerously close to his suit. The hatchling squeaked and flinched, then tried to crawl away. Its tiny claws scraped against the metal floor, making a soft, frantic rhythm. Aaron leaned down, gently pressing a hand to its glowing chest. "Stay still. Don't fight me." The creature's pulse under his fingers was faint, almost gone. Panic clawed at Aaron's chest. He had no medical kit designed for this species, no manual for alien physiology. All he had was his wits and the desperate need to act. He tore a strip from his torn jacket, wrapping it around the hatchling like a sling. Sparks from a nearby conduit ignited a small flare, startling them both, but Aaron held firm. "You're not dying on me, little one. Not here. Not today." The hatchling tilted its head, large eyes tracking him with an intelligence that sent a shiver down Aaron's spine. It wasn't just fear, it seemed aware. Aaron felt it in his gut. This was no ordinary creature. Something in those eyes spoke of memory, learning, perhaps even understanding. A sudden crash echoed behind him. Part of the ceiling had given way, and a hot spray of plasma hissed onto the floor near his feet. Aaron's heart jumped. He shifted the hatchling into his arms, holding it close. Its wings scraped painfully against his chest, but he didn't flinch. "I've got you," he whispered. "Just hold on. We'll find a way." He ran down the corridor, dodging falling debris and sparks. Every step was a gamble. The station moaned under the storm outside, metal twisting like paper. The hatchling squeaked again, weak but insistent, its body trembling. Aaron pressed it tighter, wrapping the sling around his forearm and chest. He scanned for a safer area, something with walls intact, somewhere he could try to stop the bleeding. A storage bay ahead looked intact, just enough. As he reached it, he noticed something strange. The hatchling's chest pulsed faintly, not just from fear or injury, but with a soft, glowing rhythm. Aaron crouched, peering closer. Its skin shimmered as if it responded to his touch. Every heartbeat seemed to answer his own. His chest tightened. "This thing, it's alive in a way I've never seen." He laid it gently on a crate, adjusting the sling to support its broken wing. Sparks fell nearby, and he used a piece of metal from the floor to shield them. Then he noticed something terrifying, a small crack running along the main power conduit above, thin but glowing red. A single misstep could trigger a surge, enough to fry anything in this section. Aaron froze for a heartbeat, weighing the risk. Then, without a second thought, he moved, lifting the hatchling higher, stepping into the shadowed corridor. A surge shot through the floor behind him, lighting up the bay in a blinding flash. The hatchling shrieked, wings flaring instinctively. Aaron ducked, heart hammering, feeling the heat on his back. When the light faded, he looked down. The hatchling was trembling but alive. Its eyes met his, wide and glowing faintly, as if recognizing the bond forming between them. Aaron's chest ached, both from fear and from something deeper, a strange human instinct to protect, to save. Then a low hum started beneath the floor, vibrating through the walls and crates. It was mechanical, but unlike anything Aaron had ever heard on the station. The hatchling stiffened, wings twitching nervously. The hum grew louder, reverberating through metal and bone alike. Aaron's stomach dropped. Whatever was coming, it wasn't friendly. He tightened his hold on the hatchling. "Stay close. Whatever's out there, we face it together." The crate trembled and the lights flickered again. Shadows moved unnaturally across the walls, stretching, twisting. The hatchling whimpered, tiny claws scratching his suit. Aaron's eyes narrowed. He could feel the danger pressing in, but he couldn't let it touch this small life in his arms. A flash of movement streaked past the corridor entrance, faster than his eyes could follow. The hum intensified. Aaron's pulse raced. He knew one thing for certain. Whatever had followed the crash wasn't part of the storm. And it was coming straight for them. Aaron swallowed hard, gripping the hatchling tighter. "Hold on," he muttered, almost to himself. "You're not dying today." The hatchling's eyes glowed brighter, wings flaring once more. And then, just as a shadow lunged around the corner, it hissed, a sharp, eerie sound that seemed almost deliberate. Aaron froze, heart pounding. The station trembled, sparks flying, the hatchling quivering in his arms. And in that instant he realized, survival wasn't just about keeping this creature alive. Something bigger, something far more dangerous had just woken up. Aaron pressed the hatchling closer, its tiny body trembling against his chest. The hum beneath the floor grew louder, vibrating through his boots, shaking his teeth. The shadow had vanished, but he knew it was still out there, silent, waiting. Sparks flew from a nearby wall, sizzling onto the metal floor. Every instinct screamed at him, move or die. He scanned the storage bay. Crates were stacked haphazardly, some toppled from the earlier quake. Broken pipes hissed, spraying steam, making the floor slick. Aaron set the hatchling gently on a crate again, adjusting the sling to support its injured wing. Its eyes followed him, glowing faintly in the dim light, alert and fearful. "I won't let anything happen to you," he whispered, almost a vow. The hum shifted, changing pitch like it was scanning, learning. Aaron crouched, pressing a hand to the hatchling's back. His fingers traced the faint bioluminescent veins beneath its skin. It pulsed under his touch, a rhythm that seemed to answer him. This creature, it's more than alive. It's aware. His heart thumped. Protecting it wasn't just instinct anymore, it felt like purpose. A sudden crash echoed from the corridor outside. Aaron ducked instinctively, spinning toward the sound. A section of wall peeled inward, metal screeching, and a fragment of machinery skittered across the floor. Through the gaps, he glimpsed a strange silhouette, tall, metallic, moving with impossible speed. Whatever it wasn't part of the station. Aaron swallowed and grabbed a loose pipe, weighing it in his hand. He couldn't fight this thing directly, but he could delay it, distract it, keep it from the hatchling. He made a quick plan. Using the crates, he built a narrow path toward the adjacent corridor. "Step carefully," he muttered, lifting the hatchling into his arms. Its wings scraped against his chest, but this time, instead of flinching, it coiled against him, shivering with a strange anticipation. As if it knew. The first step onto the slick floor nearly sent him sliding, but he adjusted mid-stride, muscles burning. Sparks from broken conduits hissed around him. The metallic hum followed, growing louder, sharper, like the station itself was alive and angry. Aaron's mind raced. "I need a safe space or we're done for." A crate slid, tipping toward a broken panel. Aaron lunged, catching it with his foot, and in that split second the hatchling hissed, a high-pitched, eerie sound. The hum responded, jerking sharply, almost like it had been startled. Aaron froze. The hatchling flared its tiny wings. Sparks of faint light crackled from its skin, pulsing with the rhythm of its heartbeat. Aaron blinked. It just did something. Something that affected that hum. His pulse quickened. Maybe it wasn't just a fragile creature. It had powers, abilities he didn't understand yet. And now it had just saved them from being tracked. He moved faster, running along the precarious path he'd created. Each step brought another challenge. A falling pipe, a spurt of hot steam, a collapsing section of floor. The hatchling clung tightly, wings flaring as if testing the air. Aaron glanced down at it. "You're stronger than you look, aren't you?" The creature blinked, and in that moment, Aaron swore it looked almost proud. They reached a small service room, half intact and mostly shielded from the storm outside. Aaron pressed the hatchling into a corner, wrapping it carefully in the sling. Its chest still pulsed faintly but steadily now. He looked around, taking stock. A few damaged control panels, a leaking coolant line, and an emergency power switch still intact. Enough to stabilize them, if he could jury-rig it fast. He got to work. Removing panels, reconnecting circuits, improvising. Sparks flew, and the hum outside flared in reaction. Each connection he made caused the lights to flicker, shadows dancing across the walls. The hatchling watched, tilting its head. Then a small, unexpected thing happened. When Aaron activated the emergency power, the hatchling's glow intensified, almost as if it was feeding from the energy. Aaron froze. You can use it?" The glow spread across its wings faintly, and it twitched experimentally. He realized something incredible. The bond between them wasn't just emotional, it was functional. His actions could strengthen it, guide it, protect it. His mind raced with possibilities. But there was no time to test them fully. A sudden screech echoed through the service room. Something pounded against the outer wall, metal clanging and sparks flying. Aaron yanked the hatchling close. Its wings flared, small claws gripping his suit. "Hold on," he muttered. His heart pounded harder than ever. This wasn't a random threat. The station's storm and collapse had attracted something intelligent, dangerous, and hunting. The hatchling let out a shrill, concentrated cry. The hum outside wavered violently, then stopped. Silence, thick and heavy. Aaron's pulse slowed just slightly. The glow of the hatchling dimmed to a soft, steady pulse. He breathed out. It worked. Somehow it worked. Then the door at the end of the service room shuddered. Something large pushed against it, forcing the frame. Aaron's stomach dropped. Whatever had been stalking them wasn't fooled for long. He lifted the hatchling higher, scanning for escape. The outer corridor had a maintenance hatch that might lead to the storm tunnels. Precarious, dangerous, but their only chance. He'd have to move fast or risk being trapped. The hatchling stirred, wings flaring instinctively, brushing against his cheek. Its glowing pulse quickened, almost like a heartbeat matching his own. Aaron swallowed. "We're alive because of this bond. And now we'll see just how far it can take us." A new, piercing screech echoed behind the door. The hatchling hissed sharply, claws digging into his chest. Aaron tightened his grip. "Let's go. Now." And with a surge of courage, he kicked the maintenance hatch open, stepping into the unknown darkness beyond. Aaron's boots splashed through the shallow, icy water of the storm tunnels. The hatchling clutched tightly against his chest. Its wings twitched, faintly glowing as if sensing the path ahead. The tunnel stretched into darkness, twisting and narrow, water dripping from fractured ceilings. Every step sent ripples across the metal floor and echoed ominously. He knew that whatever had been following them was still out there, patient, calculating, waiting for a misstep. He paused, listening. The low hum from the station had faded behind them, replaced by distant clanging and something slower, heavier. A vibration ran through the tunnel floor, not mechanical, not entirely natural. Aaron swallowed hard. "Okay, stay calm," he muttered, pressing the hatchling closer. Its pulse quickened, wings flickering faintly. "Can feel it too," he realized. That small, fragile creature might be more aware than any human in the station. They reached a collapsed section of the tunnel, jagged metal and concrete blocking their way. Aaron's eyes scanned for a solution. There was no way around, at least none obvious. The hatchling shifted in his arms, emitting a soft, rhythmic glow. Instinctively, Aaron held it out, almost as if offering it the path ahead. To his shock, a faint pulse of light shot from its wings toward the debris. The metal trembled. A small beam shifted, giving just enough space for him to crawl through. "What did you just do?" Aaron whispered. His mind raced. Could the hatchling actually manipulate the environment? Or was it reacting to some hidden energy in the tunnel? Either way, it had just saved them. Crawling through the narrow gap, Aaron's back scraped against jagged edges, but he ignored the pain. They emerged into a larger chamber. The walls glowed faintly with alien markings, long obscured by grime and corrosion. The hatchling perked up immediately, wings flaring, eyes locked on a console embedded in the far wall. Aaron followed its gaze and realized this was no ordinary mining station. They had stumbled into a hidden laboratory. A thin layer of dust covered everything, but the hum of dormant machinery whispered of advanced technology waiting to awaken. Aaron's pulse quickened. This must be where the hatchling came from. He stepped closer, carefully, keeping his body between the creature and the dark corners of the chamber. Its wings flared again, small sparks of light pulsing with each movement. "Stay close," he whispered. He reached for the console, brushing off the dust. Alien symbols lit up as he touched it, responding to the hatchling's bioluminescent glow. Suddenly, a recording flickered to life, projected in a three-dimensional hologram. Figures appeared, alien scientists in sleek uniforms, their movements precise, deliberate. They spoke in a language Aaron didn't understand, but captions and basic translation flickered. Subject: Guardian Hatchling. Bond with human necessary for activation. Survival dependent on symbiotic interface. Aaron staggered back, mind racing. It wasn't just some random creature. It was engineered. Meant to bond with me. His gaze fell on the hatchling, which now pulsed brighter, almost impatiently. It flapped its tiny wings, nudging him toward a sealed compartment nearby. Aaron knelt and pried it open. Inside, vials and instruments filled with unknown liquids shimmered faintly. One device hummed, resonating with the hatchling's pulse. Carefully he activated it. A soft, golden light enveloped the creature. Its glow intensified, radiating warmth through his arms. Its wings stretched slightly, stronger than before. He felt a jolt, as if energy had passed from the machine into its tiny body. This is incredible, he breathed. The hatchling looked at him, head tilting, eyes bright and alert. It chirped, and the glow seemed to answer him. A connection had formed, a bond that was no longer one-sided. Aaron realized that every action he took could now guide the hatchling, strengthen it, even protect them both. But a sudden sound cut through the awe, a mechanical screech, low and menacing, echoing from the tunnel entrance. Aaron froze. The thing following them had found the chamber. The hatchling stiffened, wings flaring, claws digging into his chest. Its glow brightened, pulsing like a heartbeat in sync with his own. Aaron had no weapons, only his wits and whatever this hatchling could do. He scanned the chamber quickly. The vials could be dangerous if used correctly. He grabbed one that pulsed faintly with energy, hurling it at the far wall near the approaching sound. The vial shattered, releasing a shockwave of light. The screeching stopped abruptly and shadows scattered. The hatchling hissed, reacting instinctively, and the glow enveloped both of them. Aaron exhaled sharply. The creature's light had disrupted the attacker, at least temporarily. But the tunnel shadows were shifting again. He looked down at the hatchling, wings fluttering weakly. We're stronger together, but only if I act smart. He activated another console in the chamber, triggering a map of the station's hidden sectors. Red dots blinked in areas he hadn't seen: rooms, labs, corridors. One dot pulsed near their location, moving steadily toward them. Aaron's stomach sank. Whatever was after them had intelligence, and it was closing in fast. The hatchling chirped again, wings flaring, almost guiding him toward a small hatch at the base of the chamber wall. It was just big enough for him to climb through. Okay, this is it, he muttered, scooping it up. He could feel its pulse racing against his chest, almost like encouragement. Together they scrambled through the hatch, dropping into a narrow service duct beyond the chamber. As they moved, Aaron realized the truth: he hadn't just found a creature to save. He had awakened something engineered to protect him, something that responded to courage and intent. The bond wasn't passive, it was active, and the station itself seemed to respond. The duct narrowed sharply, forcing him to crawl on his hands and knees. The hatchling pressed against him, wings glowing faintly, illuminating the path ahead. Then, just as the duct bent sharply, a series of sparks ignited ahead. The metal groaned under unseen weight. Something massive had followed them. Aaron froze, heart hammering, gripping the hatchling tightly. The glow from its wings brightened suddenly, casting shadows that danced across the duct walls. He felt a surge of resolve. We're not running anymore. We're facing this together. And then, from the shadows ahead, a shape moved, fast, massive, and alive. The hatchling hissed sharply, wings flaring, claws ready. Aaron held his breath. Whatever was coming, it was going to test both of them. The duct shook violently as the massive shadow lunged toward them. Sparks flew from exposed conduits, sizzling across the metal floor. Aaron pressed the hatchling closer, feeling the heat of its glowing wings against his chest. Its pulse throbbed in rhythm with his own heartbeat, fast, alive, urgent. He realized suddenly that this tiny creature wasn't just fragile. It was the key to surviving what was coming. The shadow skidded around the bend ahead, huge and impossible to ignore. Its eyes glowed faintly red, scanning, calculating. The metal groaned under its weight. Aaron had no weapons, nothing but his hands, the hatchling, and whatever cunning he could muster. He glanced down at the creature in his arms. Its wings flared, bioluminescent veins pulsing violently. Then it chirped, a sharp, precise sound, almost like a command. Aaron understood instinctively. We have one shot. He braced his legs against the duct walls, taking a deep breath. All right, together, he whispered. The hatchling twitched, eyes bright, claws gripping his chest. He felt a surge of courage, raw and human, fear mixed with determination, the kind that pushes people beyond limits. The shadow lunged again, faster this time. Aaron ducked, letting it slam past. Sparks showered down, and the metal floor groaned beneath them. He scurried backward, the hatchling pulsing in his arms, sending waves of glowing energy outward. The shadow staggered, recoiling from the light. Its red eyes flared in surprise. It doesn't expect this, Aaron realized. The creature's not just scared, it's fighting back. Aaron's mind raced. He needed a way to end this confrontation, or at least create a path to escape. His eyes darted around the duct, pipes, panels, conduits, anything that could amplify the hatchling's energy. He spotted a fractured coolant pipe, leaking pressurized gas. Dangerous but maybe enough. He carefully positioned the hatchling's wings toward the vent, pulsing in rhythm with the pressure. Sparks danced along the edges. The shadow paused, sensing the threat. Aaron's pulse raced. "Come on, you can do this," he muttered, urging the hatchling. It flared its wings in sync with his words, tiny claws scraping his chest. The glowing energy from its body surged, brighter than before, spreading outward and merging with the pressurized gas. The mixture ignited in a silent explosion of light. The shadow shrieked, a horrifying mechanical scream, and staggered backward. Its massive form slammed against the duct walls, metal twisting and sparks flying everywhere. Aaron pressed the hatchling closer, letting its glow shield them as debris rained down. He could feel the heat, the force, but the creature held strong, pulsing with every ounce of energy it had. Aaron's mind snapped into action. He realized the hatchling's glow wasn't just defensive, it could interface with the station systems. He pressed it gently against the nearby conduit, feeling the energy flow between them. Lights flickered, panels hummed, and the red eyes of the shadow reflected across the walls. The shadow froze mid-lunge, confused, its mechanical movements stuttering. Aaron gritted his teeth. "You're not taking us." Another surge of courage hit him. He grabbed a piece of scrap metal, raising it like a lever, and pressed the hatchling's wings again. A bright pulse of light shot through the duct, searing across the walls. The shadow let out one last shriek before retreating, its massive form slipping back into the darkness. Silence fell, broken only by the drip of water and the hatchling's steady pulse. Aaron exhaled sharply, lowering himself to the floor. The hatchling chirped softly, wings fluttering weakly but glowing warmly. It looked at him with those wide, intelligent eyes, almost as if acknowledging their victory. Aaron smiled, heart pounding. "We did it, together." But the victory was fleeting. The duct groaned beneath them. A new vibration pulsed through the floor, different from before, deeper, more deliberate. Aaron froze, the hatchling stiffening in his arms. "Something's coming," he whispered. His gut told him this wasn't over. Whatever had been chasing them was only one part of a larger threat. He scanned the duct. Ahead, a narrow passage led toward a chamber that might hold supplies or another exit. Behind, the collapsed walls and the shadow's retreat left a dangerous gap. Aaron had to move, but the hatchling's wings pulsed faintly, showing signs of exhaustion. "I can't risk it weakening now," he thought. He made a decision. Carefully, he adjusted the sling, giving the hatchling support without constraining its energy. "You're not just a passenger. We're partners," he whispered. The creature chirped, pulsing in response, wings flaring with renewed strength. Aaron felt a surge of resolve, the kind that humans are known for in impossible situations. Courage, intelligence, empathy, and sheer determination. Step by step, they moved toward the chamber, the hatchling guiding them with its glow. The vibrations beneath the duct grew stronger, like a heartbeat. Something massive, alive, and intelligent was approaching. Aaron tightened his grip, muscles tense. "We're ready. Whatever comes next, we face it together." Then, as they rounded a corner, the hatchling flared its wings suddenly. A shadow loomed ahead, not the same as before, larger, more structured, moving with a calculated grace. Its eyes glowed, not red but a sharp white, and it paused as if recognizing the hatchling. Aaron's stomach dropped. This wasn't random. This was a predator, or a guardian, alerted to them. The hatchling chirped sharply, wings glowing brighter than ever. Aaron pressed it closer, feeling the bond strengthening under pressure. He knew in that moment that victory wouldn't come from strength alone. It would come from courage, cleverness, and the unbreakable connection between human and hatchling. And just as the massive form lunged, the hatchling released a pulse of light so intense it lit the entire duct, casting their shadows like twin guardians of a new, uncertain world. Aaron's chest heaved as the glow from the hatchling filled the tunnel. The massive creature in front of them froze, its form flickering under the pulsing light. It hissed, then retreated slowly, unsure of the bond it faced. The hatchling chirped softly, wings dimming to a steady glow, radiating calm. Aaron breathed out, relief mingling with exhaustion. They had survived, but barely. He crouched, resting the hatchling against his chest. His pulse was strong, rhythmic, and alive. For the first time since the station quake, it seemed at peace. "You're incredible," he whispered, tracing a finger along its glowing veins. It chirped, almost acknowledging him. Aaron realized something profound. This little creature, this fragile being he had saved from death, had grown to protect him in ways he couldn't have imagined. The tunnel was quiet now, except for the distant drip of water and the soft hum of the station's emergency systems. Aaron's gaze swept the corridor. Sparks from the collapsed walls still sizzled, but the immediate danger had passed. He knew they couldn't stay, they needed a real exit, somewhere safe, somewhere they could figure out what the hatchling truly was. He hoisted the hatchling gently, careful not to strain its wings. Its glow pulsed faintly, lighting the path ahead. "Let's find a way out," he said. As they moved, Aaron's mind replayed everything that had happened. The quaking station, the shadow that had hunted them, the hatchling's sudden bursts of energy, and the bond that had formed between them. Every choice, every small act of courage had led to this moment. The hatchling chirped again, wings twitching, and Aaron realized it was leading him. They followed a narrow service tunnel that sloped upward, water trickling at their feet. Light flickered ahead, emergency panels still functional, casting a faint glow over the walls. Aaron's heart lifted. The station's control systems might be damaged, but some paths remained intact. They were not trapped. Suddenly, a soft chime echoed from a panel on the wall. Aaron froze, listening. The hatchling's wings flared slightly, its glow intensifying. A message blinked across the emergency console. "Warning, unknown life form detected. Symbiotic interface activated. Human partner identified." Aaron blinked. The hatchling's connection to him wasn't accidental. It was recognized, acknowledged by the station itself. He crouched, scanning the panel. "So, it's not just alive. The station knows you're my partner?" he whispered. The hatchling chirped, a tiny vibration of excitement. Aaron's chest swelled. This bond wasn't just survival, it was symbiosis, intelligence meeting courage. He had saved it, yes, but it had saved him too. As they moved further, the tunnel widened into a larger maintenance bay. Debris littered the floor, but he could see a hatch leading outside. Aaron's pulse quickened. They were close to safety. He set the hatchling down gently on the floor, letting it explore. Its wings flared, glowing softly, and it hovered a few inches above the ground, testing its strength. Aaron knelt beside it. "You've grown stronger," he said. "Not just in power, but in trust." The hatchling chirped, brushing against his hand, and he smiled. Every trial, every danger had forged something extraordinary between them. Courage, loyalty, and an unspoken understanding. But then a flicker of motion caught his eye. Beyond the maintenance hatch, a faint shimmer in the storm clouds hinted at something larger. A shadow moving just beyond visibility. Aaron's breath caught. The creature that had pursued them wasn't gone. It was still out there, and somehow, it knew the bond they shared. The hatchling flared its wings, responding instinctively. Its glow pulsed stronger, as if telling him, "We can face this. Together." Aaron's grip tightened around its tiny body, determination burning in his chest. Humans survive not because they are the strongest, but because they adapt, act courageously, and fight for those they care about. He glanced at the console one last time. The emergency lights flickered, showing schematics of the station. Hidden rooms, secret chambers, and unknown systems stretched beyond what he had seen. The hatchling chirped again, wings glowing steadily. Aaron realized their journey was only beginning. This bond had revealed possibilities he couldn't yet imagine. A faint rumble shook the bay. Aaron stood, lifting the hatchling carefully. Its wings flared instinctively, glowing brighter. "All right," he said, voice firm. "We've survived worse. We'll survive whatever comes next." The hatchling chirped in agreement, and together they moved toward the hatch, stepping into the stormlit night outside the station. The wind whipped around them and lightning danced across the sky. Aaron looked down at the hatchling, now glowing like a small beacon against the darkness. For the first time he felt something he hadn't before: hope. Not just survival, but the beginning of something greater. They had fought impossible odds, and together they had emerged victorious. Yet, the shadow in the clouds lingered, moving with purpose. Aaron's chest tightened. He knew the station's secrets, and the hatchling's full potential, were still hidden. Whatever lay ahead would test them further, but he had learned something crucial. Human courage, paired with trust and determination, could awaken extraordinary allies in the most impossible situations. The hatchling chirped softly, wings pulsing. Aaron smiled, brushing its glowing head gently. "We're ready," he said. "No matter what's out there." A flash of lightning illuminated the clouds, revealing distant shapes, massive and moving, hinting at a larger world beyond the station. A world waiting for them, full of mysteries, danger, and adventure. And with that, Aaron took the first step forward into the storm, the hatchling glowing steadily in his arms. Together they faced the unknown. The shadow in the clouds shifted again, larger and more intelligent than before, watching them. Aaron and the hatchling had survived the station, But the true challenge and the secrets of the hatchlings' origins were only beginning. Their bond would be tested like never before.